Hello, Alex.
What's poppin'? What's poppin', Death Proof? Glad to be back. Thank you for
Happy
having
New
me.
Year.
Happy New Year, brother.
How it seems the year for you, you know?
It was great until last night. It was
Okay.
it was
Okay.
really
Me
good
too. Me
until
too.
about
I mean,
9:30 p.m. Something happened. There was a
yeah.
lightning
Oh my
strike.
God. I was feeding my baby and watching the live stream, and I came into yours live stream to have to see the
Yep.
chat and stuff, and I was like, it was like watching one of my best friends has an accident in the road.
Mental breakdown.
Yeah, so like I heard that my brother got hit by a car or something. It was
Yeah.
that horrible. It
You
was
were there.
it was like seeing the murder of my favorite game online.
Yeah, Beast Mode was there too, and he was like, "Okay, looks like I'm gonna keep my vacation. He also had a baby recently.
Yeah,
You
I
guys are
saw
all-
it.
All the MFF YouTubers having babies. I guess I'm next. I mean, it's not all bad. There are some positives that we can take. I don't want to be like 100% negative, but
Yeah.
they have a lot of, I don't know, man. They have a lot of fixing to do, I guess. I don't know. I don't think they're going to be able to fix everything, but
I feel I wanted to be the good cop here, you know. I want you to be the bad cop. Best situation here, the best case scenario is that they did really bad representation of the updates during the live stream.
yeah,
This because we have seen that before. We have seen that
True.
on the ABL rewards. I think they didn't mention it on the live stream.
Yep.
We had it on the patch details,
true.
which was one of the best updates of 2023.
Yep.
They didn't mention it on the live stream. It was so weird live stream again, and after they dropped that. And you know, the only indicator that can makes me feel there is any hope out there is that they drop Cyclops tier 4. Believe it or not, the fact that they did a tier 4 character without a uniform makes me think that perhaps there is already cooking a new game mode or a way of playing World Boss Legend with only tier 4 perhaps, and get extra rewards or a special game mode. I'm not sure, bro. I'm trying to find out what they are smoking. Do you feel like there is hope?
So I'm a bit torn, and I've actually seen this said a lot online from people on Twitter, on Discord, etc. Why are you overreacting, right? To people like me, people like you. Why are you overreacting? There's going to be a mid-month, and my reaction to the update is negative. But my reaction to that idea that, okay, the mid-month is going to come and fix all of these problems is very simple. Why does the mid-month have to fix the problems of the update? The update shouldn't have problems itself.
In the first place.
Forget. Yeah, in the first place, right. And people forget that it wasn't always like this. We didn't used to have mid-month updates. People forget. They have short memories, and I don't blame them for that. But a very good example is the Fantastic Four update, where they got the Epic Quest. It was also in January. It was in 2019, so it was 5 years ago. And they dropped everything at once. Native Tier 2 Doctor Doom, Tier 3 Mr. Fantastic, Victorious, all the uniforms, right, for Thing, Invisible Man, boom. Big update. Yeah, we had to wait a month after that. We had to wait a whole month for the next piece of content. But they dropped it all at once, and it was whole, and it was complete.
The characters must be playable on any game mode. Right now, they're like you said you want new characters. Take new characters. Take 4 of them. Oh, right. All of them is not gonna be usable on the most of the content. They're not gonna be meta because they can't be tier 4. And you could use them Alliance Conquest and Shadowland. Aren't you happy? 4 new characters, bro.
Exactly. That's the other thing I see a lot of people saying, oh, you ask for uniforms, they give you uniforms. You complain about the uniforms, you ask for characters, they give you characters. Now you're complaining again. Well, it's a little bit more than that. It's not so simple, right? If you're just giving it, like, releasing tier 1 characters, obviously people know that that's wrong. That wouldn't make any sense. Why does it still make sense for tier 2, right?
It's not.
If you look at the change, I remember back when characters wouldn't release with a tier 2. They would release without a passive skill, and then they had to go back and they would add like 5 passive skills per update. So we're like, wow, 5 new tier 2s. This is crazy. I remember that. And that was only, the game came out in 2015. 1 year later, in 2016, that's when they introduced World Boss. They introduced native tier 2s like Thanos and Proxima, and that's when they created the idea of tier 2, because the native tier 2s already had it built in, and then everybody else had to go from tier 1 to tier 2, and they had to advance with Black Antimatter and Chaos Nordstones, and that's what the World Boss dropped. So that was 1 year. In 1 year, and then they phased out all the tier 1s. Now, in 2018, they dropped tier 3 with Captain America, with Infinity War.
Yeah.
And since then, we've been waiting 6 fucking years. 6 years, and they still don't know how to phase out tier 2s. They're breaking their own rules.
What
you know this? You know this?
No. They're milking us. Okay, yeah.
They're just stalling for time. They're just milking and stalling for time. Every time they do this, people don't realize that every time they release a tier 2 character, only Cassie, Exodus, whatever, even characters like Omega Red. People say, oh, Omega Red got his tier 3 in the mid-month, so that's fine, Alex. They're going to do the same thing for Exodus. No. Every time they do this, they're delaying the next chapter of the game. Delaying. And that honestly worries me the most, because it means that they don't know and they're not confident in what the next chapter is. Because if they were confident in what the next chapter of the game is, they would be rushing to get there. Because it means more profit for them, right? If you have this really good idea, this really good sequel in mind, you want your audience to get to the end so they can experience the sequel. If you don't have an idea for a sequel, or you have a shitty idea, you're like, okay, hang on, guys. Let's put some filler in. Let's put some filler episodes. Let's put some, let's send the character.
True. It's really weird, but because from any point of view, from free-to-play point of view, from whale point of view, if they had dropped like 2 tier 4s day 1, 2 tier 4s, if it was like Goblin Queen tier 4, and if it was Exodus tier 4, everyone should rush to go to 2 tier 4s. That's gonna push free-to-play to spend their materials, or rush or buy something or whatever, and the whales to buy packs to go into the game. So it's like they are killing their own game. In my mind, if you drop tier 2 characters when people waiting for tier 4s, it's like you're trying to make fun of people paying money in the game. It's like trying to... It's completely disgusting. The fact that the same quest that we had for Star-Lord, we're gonna have exactly the same. And when we had the quest for Star-Lord, a discounted tier 3, it was nice idea back there, I was struggling having tier 3 characters. I remember myself saying, oh nice, now I have a leadership, I have Star-Lord. But these days, this thing is not exist, you're getting 2 tier 3s if you just start now the game. What's the point of getting another tier 3? They should have built up on the quest a tier 4, bro. A discounted tier 4 for everyone to experience an easy to play tier 4. So every new player who hooked in the game could experience the tier 4 skill, the tier 4 striking ability, and all this situation that now you need like 6 months to go through and have a tier 4 yourself. If it was an epic quest with a native tier 4 inside, like Exodus, people could experience the feeling they want to go through, I want to build more tier 4s. This tier 4 that they give me for free through their epic quest, it's super cool. I want more, It's going to make people want to play. Now people don't want even play epic quest.
You're 100% right, man. I couldn't have said it better myself. You nailed it. And it's honestly, it shows a massive disconnect between what they think we want and what we want. It's really confusing. And I thought, you know what? I woke up in the morning and I thought, you know what? Maybe I'm wrong. So I went to my video. If it's under 95, then I'm like, whoa, it's like a big deal, right? That's a lot of haters. Maybe it was a bad video. Maybe my opinion was really bad or whatever. But I checked this video. It's like almost 99% likes. People are not disagreeing. The majority of people are not. There are a couple of Netmarble, bootlickers and stuff, and kind of just like jerking off every update. But most people are really disappointed with this. And it actually made me kind of sad that Beast Mode was like, I'm gonna extend my vacation. So speaking of Contest of Champions, they just had their anniversary, so they're a few months older than MFF, and then on top of that, they just released this like new difficulty called the Crypt, where you have like this crazy collector boss at the end, and it's like super difficult, and you have all these pathways, whatever. The base game itself hasn't changed, but they introduced this new game mode. But what they did additionally is they created a road to the Crypt, which was basically like a a setup, a tutorial to the crypt. And this whole idea was inspired by Seaton, obviously the biggest Marvel Contest of Champions creator ever. And they actually, even on their live stream, when they introduced the road to the crypt and they introduced it to the player base, they said in the brackets at the bottom, inspired by Seaton. And they basically like, they're not only taking the ideas from the community, but then they're actually like referencing the community and thanking the community so that everybody knows. It's like, you know, sometimes with Marvel Future Fight, they kind of take one of our ideas and we're like, did they, didn't they, are they listening, are they not listening? We're not 100. But Marvel Contest of Champions is like so well integrated. I think what they need to do to expand it a little bit more is they need to introduce something like Shadowland, where it ramps up in difficulty the further you go, the deeper you go, and then it basically forces you to save whatever tier 4s you have until the end. And then it makes the tier 3s and the tier 2s actually valuable, because their job is basically to grind through the beginning to get to the end. And I'll go back to Contest of Champions because I'm familiar enough with that game to know they recently, not that long ago, maybe like a year ago, they released 7-star characters. And everyone was like, what the hell? Like, this is too soon. People were not happy. And they thought it was a cash grab. And it's like, we still have so many characters that need to get to 6 stars. We still have so many bad 6-star characters. Sounds familiar, right? Sounds like Marvel Future Fight. But they dropped 7-star, but not every 7-star. Only some characters got 7-star. And then as the updates rolled on, they would release new 7-star characters while also releasing new characters, period, right?
Yeah.
But what the difference is that in Contest of Champions, the way the game works, you know, it's like a maze. It's like a path, and you start at the beginning of the path and you have to get to the end where the final boss is, but it gets more difficult the further you go. And on the way, there's mini bosses. So you create your team. Maybe you have 1 tier 4 or 1 7-star, or you have 2. But you have some other guys too who are there because they're just really strong tier 3s.
And they have
some value, exactly. So they need to create a game mode where you can't just bulldoze it with any character, because that's what Shadowland is. If you have Pierce, you can go through with any character. It's too fucking easy. They need to create restrictions, so you have to think about what characters to use. Okay, here I have to use Kang. Oh, thank God I have Kang. Or here I have to use Kitty Pryde. Oh man, they're asking me for a mutant, speed, female, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Very specific. So then these tier 3s, even tier, what if there was a Shadowland stage where you could only use, let's say stage 27, just random stage, you had to use a universal mutant. You have 2 choices now. You only had 1 before. You were forced to use Jean. Now you're like, oh shit, I have Exodus. That's sick.
And
now
I can save Jean for later. Yeah.
Now Exodus has value. But they want to make the game so easy peasy for all these drooling 5-year-olds. You know, just slam the buttons. So make everything no restriction. Make everything, use whoever you want, because they don't want people to cry about not having a full roster. And then people like us who actually are passionate about the game, we get to just stick our thumb up our ass and do nothing. Sorry, it's bad cop.
Oh my god, bro. Oh my god. I mean, I'm totally. If you know, the only way to turn the feeling for me, it's the same thing you said. You know, tier 4 materials. Somehow they want to make these epic quest stages really important and give you some extra. And I was thinking something like new content only in the epic quest, even without being premium. Like sacrifice a World Boss Legend run to do something there with Exodus only or something. You know, they can make a game inside the Epic Quest or something. But by the way, I know it's really late and we can't change the update right now. It's about like 2 days from now.
Yeah,
but I hope they change anything, bro. I hope they change anything, because if it's as it seems, it's so disgusting, bro. And I'm really sad for this shit. Really sad.
Yeah, I really hope. I really hope you're right, and at least they changed something. They tweaked something. They added 0 somewhere to the numbers, to the rewards, and hopefully we're pleasantly surprised in a few days. That's what I'm hoping for as well.
Yeah, and totally agree with you for the middle month. But even if they fail now and they fix it at the middle month, you know. Yeah, I get it. It's the main update. They should have a really cool update now, but at least in the middle month, please, guys, please, because
don't screw it up.
If that's not the case, what you are calling us to do, it's pay 7,700 crystals to get some tier 2 characters and some tier 3 characters. that's probably gonna get a uniform and a tier 4 2 years from now. If you see the gladiator standing there into the quest being tier 2 for 3 or 4 years, you know already Exodus is not gonna get anything. If they don't give him something now, the
Immediately,
game
yeah.
gonna be closed until he's going to need to get a uniform or a tier
Yep.
4.
Yep.
They need to fix that, bro. They need to
Absolutely.
fix that, or they are killing the game. And there's no between these two,
Yeah.
Either
Yeah.
they want to close the game and they're doing that to see how stupid people playing the game
How much people will take, yeah.
yeah, or
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a
It's possible.
misunderstand, and they failed on delivering the live stream, and perhaps the patch details gonna make us smile again.
When we get angry about the game, when we talk shit about the game, when we say all these nasty things, it's not that we want the game to shut down. It's not that we want the game to close. It's that we see the potential. We see how amazing the game could be and how amazing it is at times. That's why we still
Yes.
play, right? We're not idiots, We play games because they're good, because they
Yeah.
have a good foundation. And then it's just these massive missteps and these massive colossal mistakes along the way that you're like, did you forget how to walk?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
The point is that you cry only for things you love,
Exactly,
You cry only
exactly.
for things you love. I'm crying online right now for developers to save the game I actually enjoy the most last 6-7 years or whatever. I mean, please guys, please
Yeah.
give us a break.
Please.
Give us a proper update. Come on. So it was a pleasure again.
Always, brother.
I'm not sure if you want to say anything else that we didn't mention.
Go to youtube.com/deathproof, subscribe to Deathproof, turn on the notification bell. Boom!